In ancient Babylon, a city of golden spires and pagan gods, there lived a man named Daniel. He was a stranger in a strange land, surrounded by those who didn't share his faith. Yet Daniel stood out, not because he was loud or boastful, but because he was faithful, honest, and unwavering in his devotion to the one true God. Daniel's integrity shone like a beacon in the royal court, catching the eye of the king and the envy of his peers. Those who resented his favor searched for a flaw, a weakness to exploit, but they found nothing except his unshakable faith. Driven by jealousy, Daniel's enemies hatched a plan. They persuaded the king to issue a decree. For 30 days, no one may pray to any god or man except the king. It was a trap, carefully set to ensnare the faithful Daniel. When Daniel heard the new law, he knew the danger it posed. Yet without hesitation, he returned to his home, opened his windows toward Jerusalem, and knelt in prayer, just as he had always done. He didn't hide his faith or rail against the injustice. Instead, Daniel simply remained true to who he was, even as the world demanded he change. For his defiance, Daniel was sentenced to death. The king, bound by his own decree, had no choice but to order Daniel thrown into a den of hungry lions. As the stone was rolled over the mouth of the pit, it seemed certain that Daniel's faith would be his end. But in the depths of that dark den, surrounded by beasts, Daniel was not alone. The God he served faithfully had not abandoned him. Through the long night as the lions circled, Daniel's trust never wavered. When morning broke, the king rushed to the den, his heart heavy with grief and hope. He called out, his voice echoing in the stillness, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" To the king's amazement, Daniel's voice rang out clear and strong. "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me." As Daniel emerged unscathed, his faithfulness became a powerful witness. The king, moved by this miracle, declared throughout his kingdom that all should fear and reverence the God of Daniel. In Daniel 6, Daniel's story reminds us that true strength isn't found in the absence of danger, but in the presence of unwavering faith. When we face our own lions, be they doubt, fear, or persecution, we can draw courage from Daniel's example. In a world that often demands we compromise our beliefs, Daniel shows us the power of staying true to our convictions. His life testifies to a God who still protects, still saves, and still honors those who trust in him, even in the face of impossible odds. So when you feel surrounded by the roaring lions of life, remember Daniel. Stand firm in your faith, for the God who sealed the lions' mouths still watches over his faithful today.